Right, welcome everybody to another episode of Chris and Dave's Reality TV Cast. I am one of your hosts, Chris, and my co-host and very good friend is Dave.
Hey there, Chris, and hello to our listeners out there. Welcome to Chris and Dave's Reality TV Cast. We are covering Love is Blind Season 4, Episode 2, Chris. Now we are getting there. Softly, softly, catchy monkey.
We're filming Season 5, Dave, by the time we get to this.
They've already... Hey, did you see all of the fallout as well? So I'm trying to avoid spoilers and everything, but you can't avoid the fact that Netflix were doing their first kind of live stream, if you like, and it's obviously a little bit different from just replicating, the same content through all your different data centers. And apparently it was a complete mess. And even Blockbuster was sledging them on Twitter. Have you seen that?
No.
Yeah, apparently it was a bit of a fuck up. But I mean, they seem to be doing all right as a company. They released their earnings this week and whatever, and they're doing pretty well. But yeah, so when we get to the reunion, we'll be able to watch it because it's just, it's recorded now, isn't it? But apparently it was a big fuck up trying out the live stuff.
Well, Dave, it doesn't make a difference to us now. You are correct. We are slightly behind. People have been asking us, where are we? So we're here. As we said, we're going to do each episode. Got to say, Dave, we're on episode 2. There's a little bit of sprinklings of drama, which I'm here for. But we do start off with Tiffany and Brett, who, fully in love, Dave. They meet each other. Brett, he's lost for words. He's crying. I've got a feel... listen, I'm going to say I've got a feeling. When we've done these series where people have actually watched it ahead of time, Dave, which it's only happened a few times. We usually all watch it in sync, everyone who's listening, and we doing everything. We're behind on this. So I'm going to go out on a limb here, Dave, and be completely wrong. But I think Brett and Tiffany do look made for each other. And I'm hoping they survive because there doesn't seem to be any drama between them at the moment. I'm putting that little caveat in. So,
yeah, I mean, I think they're good signs, aren't they? At the end of episode 1, obviously, we had the whole sleepy situation. Now, we were debating whether that was a bit of a setup. And here we got, a couple of the girls came in to wake her up and stuff. And I was like, this sort of feels more set up to me now. Well, what do you reckon to that?
Yeah, I think you have an absolute great analogy of all these shows when they come in and they're like lightning in a bottle, and we really impress with them. Once the formula's been made, that's it forever, isn't it? And I do think this series, these people are far more aware of what's going on. It feels a little bit like, at the moment, and I know a lot of people raving over this series, but it feels a bit like The Circle, where the idea was so good and a couple of seasons were brilliant. And then after that, for me, everyone's just an actor or an actress. Everyone's just like performing. They have to perform. They have to speak that in a monologue, don't they? They have to talk all the time. I would probably be pretty good at it, Dave, but they have to do that because they're talking to the audience, and that ruined that show for me the last time we did it. We've not covered the last series. I didn't have the heart for it, and I know you didn't. I was just like, nah, you're all right. But yeah, look, it's well polished, Dave. It's a Netflix show. Everything we've watched with Netflix has been really polished show, and that again plays into the Kardashian for me, where it's like how much is real, how much is fake. I just don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, but the fact that they do come in, I think it was Chelsea and one of the other girls. It just felt weird. Like someone had obviously tipped them off to say that she's asleep or whatever. I don't know. It just felt set up, but it was all washed over. So Brett was Bertie Big Bollocks, wasn't he? Saying, "Oh, I'm done." But he'd calmed down, and then he wasn't done. He proposed, and here is my next gripe, Chris. And I'm sure I'm expecting about episode 3 or 4 for this to really take off. But you know what is grating on me in a bachelor style way? The fact that we know that they're in there for less than 2 fucking weeks, and they're like, "Oh my God, I'm in love with you. Will you marry me? Oh my God, yes, I want to spend the rest of my life with you." Like, fuck off. Does anyone buy this shit? So I don't know why. Just the format, and I guess just knowing that they're not in there for really that long, it just does my fucking head in now. And so we obviously get that with Brett, don't we? So instead of dumping her, he proposes, and she's really happy. Now, to be fair, when they do meet up, it seems to have good chemistry there. They both like what they see, and they've already made that emotional connection. So yeah, I think of the people that we've seen, I think you'd have to put Brett and Tiffany in the pile of, yep, they've kind of got a chance, haven't they? We haven't seen anything other than, the little Sleepygate thing. We haven't really seen anything to suggest that they're gonna butt heads together or anything.
No, I don't think so. And I think we needed a bit of drama, Dave. But then, yeah, I'm with you. That I think that hopefully they're going to be the Ollie and Tani, Dave. We said this in the last episode from Matt.
Yeah.
But I'm not liking Dave, and the Chris's reality radar has been brought back, Dave, from the brink of extinction. I don't like Micah and Irina at all. I think they're a pair of mean girls. Irina's even trying to steal fucking birthday candles and everything. Once she was like, what is your game? They just seem to be there. They just seem pretty horrible, really. And Irina's, what she's saying when she's with the girl, especially with Micah, so what she's relaying when she's chatting to the guys is fake. She's trying to be this dead nice person to the guys, but when you see her off camera, she isn't. And I don't like Micah either. I think they're both pretty horrible. So they're the ones I'm sort of watching, because as much as I'm saying I don't like him, we need him. Because if everyone just fucking everyone pairs off, I'm getting round to the fact, Dave, we've got to embrace the baddies, and these two have been my baddies so far. I don't like them. They're obnoxious. Amber comes back from Paul telling her that he wasn't interested. She thought they were together, and they're laughing the fucking cocks off. And then you've got fucking Irina there, like listening in and everything, like she's some fucking 5-year-old child. Again, ridiculous, Dave, but I'm here for it as well because we need it. So what do you think of them two?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? So you can not like them, but you can appreciate kind of what they bring to the show. I think it was Jacquelina who came back, wasn't it? And she was crying and stuff. So I guess we'll get to her interaction with Marshall, because, she's in this kind of triangle with Marshall and Josh. But, she was really upset because Marshall was upset and whatever. And I just thought it was really weird the way Irina and Micah were kind of there. But then Irina in particular was just laughing like it was all a massive joke or something.
Yeah.
And I thought, that's a bit off. Seems a bit mean girlish. But then when it was Bliss, wasn't it? So another triangle, you got Bliss, Irina, and Zach. Then, so Bliss is making the birthday cakes and everything, and she's just coming over, and I don't know. There was an arrogance about it, where it was like, so can I have a candle? Because I'm going to take it, and then I'm going to pretend like I got it for Zach and made it for his birthday and stuff. It's like, well, no, we're in competition, you dickhead. Fuck off.
I'm just making lovely cakes and spending energy doing it. It's just
and had the thought, and the reality was, Irina, that wasn't a thought. And I tell you what, you're right. The way she is in the pods is like she's playing this character, this like all sweet and innocent girl kind of thing. But there's a nastiness to her, I think. And so, you need them. You need them in these shows, don't you?
I hate myself for saying it, Dave, but we do. They need to both step up now. These two are playing that baddie. And I thought, Dave, I've got to say, but talk about Micah as well. Micah's delivery to Kwame was not good at all. The poor guy was all in on her. He thought, a bit like what Paul had done with Amber, they were both all in. They were both blindsided by what was said. And the way she just, said it to Kwame. Kwame's sort of like trying to be cool. One, he's like, yeah, okay, no problem. And then Micah, he's genuinely upset. He tried to play it cool. He was dead respectful the way he spoke. So he's like, okay, fair play. Good luck to you. I hope you find your person. She was annoyed that he didn't kick off when she got back to the room talking to Irina. And I'm like, well, you've just fucking dashed this guy's hope. He thought you were in there. He's laid bare all insecurities, the thing about he was going to call himself Alex, wasn't he, Dave? And we discussed that in the last episode. He really did think there was something there. And then he was crying. Obviously, he was dead upset when he went back to like the pod things or whatever. But she was just like, well, nothing there. And I'm like, there's no reaction. I'm like, but you've just let him down. What's he supposed to do? Start screaming, knocking the wall down because he wants to see you in person and understand why. It made no sense at all to me. And again, it's like game playing. I just don't understand what a game was with that.
I just don't think she really gave a fuck about him, to be honest. I think she came back and she was a bit annoyed.
Pissed on my chips, Dave.
Yeah, no, she was sort of a bit annoyed that, like, he didn't kick off more, and she was a bit puzzled by it. But she was not asked. She was on to the next thing, wasn't she? Already.
Yeah.
Paul,
Which
that was the only thing she was thinking was like, see, I thought with the delivery and everything, she was saying, we're going to have to see other people. And then it's like somehow seeing other people becomes like a breakup. I'm like, well, if you just want to break up, just fucking say break up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. Because she was being nasty as well. Paul was letting Amber down because all this is going on around about the same time. And she's like, what's going on in that pod? What's going on? And it's like, what does it matter? But I'm not feeling Paul either, Dave. I'll be honest with you.
No.
He's a bit of a snaky one, me, to be honest. And I think he lets Amber down. I've mentioned it a few times. But when she comes back to the pod, as I said, Mika's happy. She's like smiling, smirking to herself. And then when she speaks to Paul, she's like, oh, great. When he's saying all this stuff. And I'm thinking, well, one of you is going to get hurt here. Without a doubt, we find out at the end that they love each other allegedly. They want to be together, and we're about to get the point where they meet each other and it goes off. But I honestly think that one of them is going to dip the other one here, Dave. Something's not right about this couple. It just seems to be like the only ones that they were partially compatible with, and they've just gone with it, unfortunately.
Yeah, like I say, it's not. So, what they say is, should we spend the rest of our lives together? What they mean is, should we spend the rest of this show together? That's it. That's the start, middle, and end of it. But yeah, I mean, Paul was a bit weird as well, wasn't he, when he was dumping Amber? Because the way he was like agonizing over it, I was sure he was going to say, we knew he was going in to dump Amber. And the way he was wrestling with it, I thought he was going to blurt out. They're like, "Oh, let's get married," because she seemed to have no idea at all. But then I've got no horse in that race either. She's like, "Oh, I thought you my person. I've been married twice before, but they weren't my person. I thought you were my person that I've never seen." And it's just like, fuck off. You don't actually think that. You're all just so desperate to be on this show.
It's true that it is true. And so what would you say, Dave? We're at the end of episode 2. He's not really got going. I mean, Sam was asking me last night. She's like, what's happening in it? Because unfortunately, guys, he's fit on UK Gogglebox. They're revealing certain things. I'm trying to keep away from the spoilers. But watch it. I said, well, nothing's happened. And maybe, Dave, in some respects, we said we would do episode by episode. But watching it, maybe this is them sort of shows where you do 3 episodes in a podcast together and it all makes sense. So we talked about it today, but I just don't feel that it's not getting me yet. I'm not feeling it. I'm finding breadcrumbs just to sort of go, oh, something's going on here. But I really want it to kick up in this 3rd episode, because before you know it, we're going to be 8 or 9 episodes in before we get anything. And that's 9 hours of watching, Dave. I don't want that. Yeah. I want it from the off. I want it where me and you were texting each other going, I need to podcast. What a bunch of wankers they are, and see you next Tuesdays and everything. That's when we're at our absolutely having fun with this sort of reality TV stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And my washing machine is about to take off, I'm pretty sure. So if you can hear that, I apologize.
I can't.
I'm like, you're not hearing it.
No. You're okay, Dave. No. As long as it's all washed, it's fine.
So, I don't know. We did season 1. we did episode by episode, didn't we?
Yeah.
And I felt like that worked. And because we didn't know the format, I guess it kind of worked for that reason. You never knew where they were going to be in the experiment.
Yeah.
But I guess because we know the format now and the contestants, they know the format and everything, it's just feeling a bit formulaic. And what I find amusing is, before we said, okay, let's do Love is Blind season 4, because across the board, people were saying how great it was. And then we said we'd do it. And then I keep seeing these comments that, yeah, it's not that great, really.
Yeah, me too.
Fucking hell.
But we're in now. We've got.
Yeah, we've started, so we'll finish. Unlike the US Love Island one that we did and got called out for. But I just think that maybe it's edited to be binged. But like I say, we've started off with this episode by episode thing. Let's keep it up. But I seem to remember, I think it was season 2 where we were just waiting for it to catch fire, and it just never did. So I don't know. Maybe it's just a different experience going through it one by one. But I am interested to see how it develops from here. And like I say, there's a few clues. I think we've got our mean girls, haven't we? And we've got I think our couple that will work will be Tiffany and Brett. And the others, I'm not really convinced by at all. We've got a bit of intrigue with, what's the name? With Josh and Marshall.
Yeah.
What's her name? Jacqueline.
Yeah.
So you got a bit of a triangle thing there. I thought that was funny, actually. So Marshall was like, right, he was getting quite Bertie Big Bollocks, wasn't he? Because he fucking was saying about how sensitive he is, but then when Jacqueline was saying she's talking to someone else, he turned quite nasty, and then he's acting like his neck wound fully out, and Josh is like, "You're talking about me?"
Yeah.
And then he sort of, well, depends. So I'm interested to see where that one goes. But yeah, I need a bit more from this series, to be honest, to like really drag me in. At the moment, I'm not that invested.
No, me neither. But we'll get on episode 3 pretty much straight away. I think we're gonna have to try and watch that the next day or so. So we'll see if it pulls me in, Dave. So massive thank you, guys, as always. Thanks for waiting on this one. We are going to get through them. I just think 7 months of podcasting every day has just, we're just having that little bit of a break, aren't we, Dave? We're getting our life back slowly. So until other things happen, and we won't be doing daily on any podcast like that, Dave. We won't be. You don't suggest it to me, Dave. You know what you like for suggesting these things every day?
If I leave you talking for long enough, we'll be signed up to another daily series.
All right, let's wind it down. So if you want to email us, cdrealitycast@gmail.com. If you want to follow us on social media @cdrealitycast. As always, go over to patreon.com/cdrealitycast if you'd like to support the podcast a little bit more. Massive thank you to everyone who supports us in all this stuff. We really appreciate everyone who supported us on Patreon, past and present. And go over to Facebook, Chris and Dave's Reality TV Cast. Every single day we've got people joining, Dave. We're nearly at 600 followers on there. So thank you so much, everyone. The elusive 1,000 followers, hopefully we'll have that by the end of the year. But thank you so much for coming over and joining, guys. We really appreciate it. And if you do come over there, it's amazing. Honestly, amazing. 590 people, Dave, like our show. Can't argue with that.
Close. Yeah.
So can't argue with that. So thank you so much. And if you are unsure on some of the shows we're covering, guys, just have a look on the feed on the actual Facebook page, because everybody posts the episodes if you're outside the UK and that. So I do appreciate that. So today's roll call of honour is massive thank you to Ken, Lucky Lulu Green, Lauren Hennessy, Susan Deedy, Katie, Libby, Joanna, Noreen, Chloe, Brianna, Helen, Keith, Gillian, Zoe, Kristen, Maggie, Kate, Megan, Cassie, Fiona, Emma, Nicola, Macy, Alex, Helen, Larissa, and Sarah. So thank you so much, guys, for all your support. And we go again, Dave. We go again.
Fantastic stuff. So quite keen to get on to episode 3. So we'll speak to you at some point next week. And thank you very much, sir. Thanks to everyone for listening and for supporting us. And we'll speak to you next time.
Bye.